Hey, what's up, Scott Balcom here, and this is Raw Cuts. It's a cooking channel, a cooking show. It's me cooking amazing things because, well, I love food, and as you can tell, I also love meat. Today is July 4th. You can kind of hear the fireworks in the background, and this is the perfect time to go over smoking a brisket. I am not a master trained chef. I'm not even a trained chef. I just learned how to cook, and I'm sharing with you how I do things. So we've got a very nice, this is already a trimmed brisket, but it's not trimmed enough because I really like to trim up briskets and get them just to their best. So first thing we're gonna do, get you a nice sharp blade, and we wanna take off a lot of this fat. And you only want really about 1/4 inch of fat on at any one place. In a lot of these places, we only really want no fat. We want to take it all the way down to the meat. And there's a couple of spots here that are just really full of fat, whatever you want to call it. Just don't be afraid. It's okay. You're not going to eat it anyway. And some people will be like, well, but Scott, you know, my daddy always used to say that's the best part. Well, it might be the best part, but your daddy ain't here and he ain't making this brisket, and that's not how Scott makes it. And Scott's talking in the third person, which I have no idea why, but he's doing it. Also, make sure you cut away from your hands because that seems really intelligent. So we're getting down to the meat here. You can see, getting good. And you can actually use this. So if you're on, say, like an actual stick-fired barbecue, then what I like to do is use this fat and every time I put logs on, take a big chunk of this fat and I throw it straight on the top of the log. And what that does, well, it unlocks an incredible flavor. So now all this little stuff down here, the silver skin and this flabby fat, let's just cut that off. I mean, always get a trim brisket because it just saves you a little bit of time, and they're gonna do a lot of the work for you. Sure, it may cost a slight bit more, but it's not that much, and it's well worth it in the end. Down over here, there is a big chunk of fat right here. We're just gonna slice into that. We're gonna find it. And this usually opens up a large pocket, and that's totally fine because, again, you don't really want this fat. You want fat in your brisket, and there's plenty of it to be had. But, I mean, you can tell that is it's not that enjoyable of a piece of fat there. Now we're gonna be cooking this to an internal temperature of about 190, and then we're gonna pull it off. We will have the smoker set at 225, and we will do this for about 12 hours. Now again, on the back here, some people say they like a 1/2 inch of fat. I am about between 1/4 to 1/8, so maybe 3/16, maybe. And that is pretty trim. It's ugly. It's not pretty, but you know what? It don't need to be pretty. It needs to be tasty. All we're gonna use is Lowry's garlic powder, black pepper, and yellow mustard. So you don't need a whole lot. You just need to coat the entire thing. And you know, when it comes to today's show is sponsored by Taco Bell. That's right, Taco Bell That is the unmistakable sound of my 99-cent tacos. No, that should be enough for this side. Let's just get it all on here and find out. And no, we're not sponsored by Taco Bell. If we were, this wouldn't be meat. I don't know if that's true. Lots and lots and lots of Larry's seasoned salt. And the reason you want lots, well, quite frankly, because this is a big, thick piece of meat, and you need to get flavor everywhere. Garlic powder, I'm just gonna go crazy with that because I love me some garlic powder. And now, cracked black pepper. Now, no sneezing. There's no sneezing on this show. Now I need some more mustard. Because you're just trying to get a coating for this to stick to. So you just rub it in, get it all goopy and sticky in every corner. Yum, yum meat. Who doesn't love meat? Vegans, vegetarians. So let's get the Larry's on here. It's probably Lowry's, isn't it? Lowry seasoned salt. Mike Lowry. Now we're gonna do some garlic powder. If I get a few views on this, then it'll make me feel better. If people like give me thumbs ups and all that good stuff, well, it'll encourage me. So everyone, right now is a great time to go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and click that subscription. Go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm okay with that. It's, this is Texas barbecue, so this is how we do it. Next, we're going to fire up the smoker, and then we're gonna place this inside. All right, so here's the brisket. Here's the smoker that I use. It's a Pit Boss Vertical, and you can get it from Lowe's, I think. It's really good. I know a lot of people with the side-by-sides and for the pellet smokers, and they get clogged. They have problems with them. They won't maintain temperature. It's just not a good experience. So I have the vertical. Open this bad boy up. Woo, that's warm. Woo. I'm gonna place this in there, right on the rack. Fat side up. Feed your wire out the side and just plug it in. And that's it. Now you just wait about 6 hours. And after 6 hours, we're going to wrap it in butcher paper and cover it with wagyu on the opposite side and cook it the other way. It's great, you're gonna love it. All right, here is our brisket. We're gonna pull this out. We're currently sitting at about 180 degrees internal temperature for this. And this is the fat side. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this over. This is the bottom, and now we're gonna put some wagyu fat on it. Well worth it. So, what you wanna do is get you a nice big old globule of this fat, and you're just gonna smear it all over like cake frosting. It's gonna melt really quick, so don't be surprised. We just want to make sure that it gets everywhere, all over this, because this is going to be our source of hydration for the delicious brisket. All right, once that's done, we're going to take the 2 sections of butcher paper. We're going to roll it over like so. One more time, remembering which side is which. So this is the fat side right here. And we're gonna take the whole thing and go over just like that. Okay, that's your Wagyu side up top. And then we're gonna place it back in after we pierce it with the temperature probe. Just go in right there. And we're going back. Well, now it's time to unveil the brisket and, well, taste it and get it going. We let it cook for an entire length of about 13 hours. We smoked it for about 7 of those hours, and then we wrapped it in the butcher paper, as you saw, with the Wagyu. And then I pulled it off about 11 o'clock and placed it in a cooler, just directly. You don't mess with it. You don't ever want to cut it when it's hot. The ideal temperature to cut it is somewhere around 130, 140. It's about 120 in there right now. A good cooler will keep it quite warm for quite a while. I'm probably going to pay dearly for putting this in here and trying to chop it up in the studio, but I want the studio to smell good. So let's pull it out and see how much grease we've got here. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Well, there it is. It's a really, really nice looking brisket there. It's like right here, I think it is. We cut right down the middle. Yep, that seems about right. That's right at the flame. Oh, that looks really nice. So you can see just how juicy that is. It's really juicy. And we're just going to make some cuts. Normally we would, ooh, that's a thick cut. Trim this up into 2 pieces, but we're not going to. Am I still cutting the right way? I'm not. You're supposed to cut it this way and then cut it, and you're supposed to cut these ends off here. Pretty sure. I'm fine with it. It's going to be, ooh, look at that. Look at that. That is you know what? Let's just see about this. Let's just see. That's a pretty. That's really good. So I like a subtle bark. Just something that you see the smoke ring right there. It's not really big, but it's also going to be really flavorful, which it definitely is. But it's not going to have that bitterness that you get. Now, what I smoked it with was a combination of apple and hickory is what we smoked on last night. And it just depends on what I like to smoke with. Again, you can go right through with one cut, no problem. That's really good though. I'm kind of hungry. Wife will be home soon since it's now the next day. And we'll get this all plated up. Well, you won't get to see that, unfortunately, because we're going to eat it as soon as she gets home. And I could have cut it probably an hour or so ago. Would have been a little bit better. But there's our meat right there. You can see that nice piece of meat. It is very nice. You can see the smoke ring. Really nice. It's really tender, just tears apart really easily. So the internal temperature that I cooked it to was $1.93. And then I pulled it off and put it in the cooler. And the reason I did that was it's going to rise a little more once you pull it off. It just happens. And that'll get you really close to about 200 degrees, which is just about perfect. If you go too much, it'll fall apart. If you go too little, then it'll be a little too chewy. This is fantastic. And the flavor is really good. You don't expect Lowry seasoned salt, so simple, to give you a flavor like that, but it does. And it's really good. Which has got a really nice flavor. So you don't have to have barbecue sauce with it. It's that tender, it's that juicy. But if you want barbecue sauce, next time I'll show you my barbecue sauce recipe, which I'm still constantly reforming, but it's pretty good right now. So yeah, I might be the worst chef in the world, but hey, I'm out here sharing and caring and making meat. So remember to subscribe, all that good stuff, and stick around. There's more coming. There's a lot more coming. A lot more. Buddy, you want to try some? You want to try it? Want it? Try it. Is that good? Yeah. Rex approves. Rex approves. There you go. That's it.